Johnny Dumbbell, what's good, fam? How you doing this evening, sir?
Hey, good, Uncle Bill. Thanks for having me on here. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We are from Ohio and Pennsylvania, respectively, where you won't find a good driver, but you don't have to worry about it when you're watching us. At least I hope. Don't watch us while you're driving.
Yeah. You know, Johnny, I'm just grateful to be here. I appreciate another opportunity to answer questions for these young men and give them guidance, teach them how to have structure in their life, and help them become better versions of themselves. That's why we're here, Johnny. We want to be of service to these young men. So on Monday nights, it is Ask Your Favorite Uncles.
Yes.
So don't be shy, nephews. Whatever the questions are, step up and ask them. We got a call-in number. You can write in the chat. You could send Uncle Johnny a message if you don't want to go live on the show. We prefer that you call in because, hey, we may have follow-up questions. So if we really want to get to the root cause of your problem, we're going to have some advice, or at least an advisement for you. Whether you take those steps, that's on you, nephew. It really depends on each and every one of you. We're here. Reach out to your favorite uncles. All right, Johnny, what do you got for us tonight?
Well, we got 4 questions tonight, and guess what? We got another question from the UK tonight. So it turns out, it's kind of exciting because it's kind of more exciting than even the last time, because this was a referral from our last guy. So these guys are apparently friends. They know each other, or at least they work together or something like that. I'm not sure. But it's pretty cool. You know, we're getting an international audience, and I love it. I love it a lot.
Same. I'm grateful for the growth on YouTube.
Yeah.
Shout out to YouTube and everybody on YouTube. I just appreciate you guys subscribing, liking the videos, watching the videos. I just appreciate it so much.
Definitely. So we'll go ahead and cut right to the chase with question 1. This is from Gunner, and he says the subject line: saw my ex-girlfriend in a pub and made myself look like an idiot.
Bruh.
All right,
Gunner,
so
come on, bro.
So here's kind of the long and short of it. So cheers. Thought I'd seek some good American advice. A few weeks ago, I think it was our August 4th episode. He says, you answered a question for a friend of mine. His name was Jay from, and I'm being corrected here because I pronounce it Gillingham. He's from Gillingham. It's a G, but it's Gillingham. Kent County. I guess there's another one that you pronounce Gillingham somewhere else. I don't know. But anyway, he encouraged me to message you myself with a problem I'm trying to resolve. So off we go. I am 26 years old. Saw my ex-girlfriend, who was 24, at a bar about 6 months after we broke up. For context, she cheated on me, trickle-truthed me, as Johnny Dumbbell puts it, for months, and lied to me about a great many things. She left me for not being over the fact that she cheated. I mean, she's right. You should have gotten over it after you dumped her. Anyway, I completely ignored her. I could tell she was looking at me a lot. She even tried to walk over to me. I simply and calmly walked away. But I felt like a complete, because of the algorithm, orifice.
Hey,
because
Johnny,
she was walking out of the bar with some guy. What's that?
I hate to interrupt you, but we got a question from Jen. Let's answer Jen's question, and then we'll get back to the email.
Crap, I can't even see that.
Yeah, I got to get it up on screen. So say, I was wondering if one Monday night show, you could give us your philosophy on dating. Now, Jen, we would love to. Is there something specific you'd like to know? Because
we do that every Monday.
Yeah, we do. I mean, Mondays is more geared towards the nephews and answering their questions, but philosophies on dating, you're going to find very different philosophies between myself and Johnny Dumbbell. But here's what you got to understand. I may be a 7+3. Johnny may be a 9+1, but we both equal 10. But so we're going to approach something from different points of view, and we're going to have different solutions.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, any specific questions you have, but yeah, that's generally what we do Mondays and Thursdays.
Okay.
You know, we talk about how to break the ice and how to continue. You know.
Okay, she's curious about a year to vet. Now, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked. Here's the thing: when you date somebody, you aren't really you're dating their representative at first. You're dating the version of them they are choosing to present to you. And sometimes men and women both do this. They hold up a mask. But the thing is, Jen, they can't keep that mask up indefinitely. So over several months, that mask starts to slip once you start seeing them in stressful situations, how they deal with anger, how their relationship is with their family. There's several factors to it. So
how they talk how they talk when their phone is running slow. I mean, that could tell you a lot too. I'm telling you.
So at any rate, there's certain things you need to look for. Consistency is key, because the patterns that you want, the things that you're looking for, the standard that you have, what we call our program, the woman's behavior is going to determine how serious I take her and how long I will take her serious for. Yep. Typically for me, I'm out at the first sign of disrespectful behavior. Once, okay, so I have a free will philosophy when it comes to dating. I think women, I'm not an idiot. Okay, I know that woman was talking to somebody the day before I walked into her life. However, she wasn't anticipating.
We have intuition too, yeah.
So I'm not going to hold anything against her that she was doing before she met me, including who she was talking to, anything like that. Women will get rid of those guys on their own and make you a priority. So through that consistency, through being available when I need her to, through following my instructions, through following my leadership, I want to spend more time with her. Now she says, so as you're vetting someone, you're seeing others. Yes. Now that may be different for some people, but listen, okay. And this is what you got to understand. I respect myself so much and I put so much work into myself. I'm not going to lie to anybody about anything, but that's for me and my level of integrity. So I'm not going to lie to women about seeing other women. Now, most of them are really smart. I'll give you women some credit. You don't even ask about stuff like that. But some women need to read the room. And for that, I got the little lost and found box, Jen. Now, women leave stuff behind when they come to your crib. Sometimes it's stuff like makeup. Sometimes it's stuff like jewelry. There's some earrings in here. But the point I'm trying to make is, Jen, if you were to come over to my house and you seen this lost and found box by the door, you're not asking me if I'm dealing with other women. You already know what the deal is right away. Now, some women ask about it playfully. Some ignore it and pretend like it's not even there. But the point is that they see it and they know what kind of man they're dealing with. Now, often...
yeah, otherwise there'd be no difference between talking and dating.
Okay, so I am talking to other women at the same time, but I got to tell you what typically happens is I'll get a front runner. I'll get one that wants to pull ahead of the other ones and show me how hard she can go for me. And she'll get the same kind of mindset that I have where I know a woman is not sitting around in a tower knitting. Like, she is out in the world. She is talking to guys. There are guys at her job that want to smash her. There are guys when she goes out that want to get at her. There are guys everywhere she goes that want to talk to her. They're in her DMs. It's actually really pathetic, man. Some of you men really need to step your game up, especially with the DMs. I don't know why you guys are sending DMs, but I don't want to get off track. But to answer your question, in a row, again, I don't have to tell women that I'm seeing other women. It's apparent in my actions and how I conduct myself as a man.
Yeah, I mean,
now,
I think
Johnny,
it should
we got another question here from Max Blaze. Max says, the latest woman I dated always mentioned other guys, but never other women. When I bring up other women, she calls them ratchets. Okay, Max, let me give you a little bit of game here. You should not be talking about other women in front of your woman, okay? Because, yes, there is a competition aspect to it, but she's going to see herself as your best option, and all the other women in your life she's going to look down on. Like, you can't do better. I mean, I don't know kind of women you're messing with. A lot of you guys date women for the wrong reasons. I like to go off of their behaviors more than their looks. Now, don't get me wrong. I got to be physically attracted to her, but I'm not placing so much value on her looks that I'm letting it affect the standard that I already have set for my life about how I run my program. Johnny, you want to speak on that?
Yeah, I do. And in the case of this girl, what I'm telling you right now is I promise you she's projecting. So she's sitting there talking about other guys and not hearing you talk about other girls. She might as well sit there and tell you that she's expecting you to compete. And it's kind of honestly, possibly even bored with the fact that she doesn't feel like she has to compete for you. Now, is that a stupid game to play? Yes, it is. But the fact of the matter is that is exactly what sounds like is going on here. She's projecting her desire to make you compete for her because she's not hearing about anything that she is having to compete for you. She wants to, I mean, subconsciously, she wants to have to compete because she wants to feel like she is better than the others. Remember, women don't want men that women don't want. And that's the biggest thing. So if you're not even being approached with or flirted with, or she doesn't think that other girls are coming on to you and she wants you to, so she's trying to flip that role or whatever it happens to be. But she is basically telling on herself and letting you know that there is a competitive instinct involved. And she either A, wants to see you go hard and sit back and watch, or B, she's expressing that subconscious desire to want to be better than some of these other girls, if there are any. Now, I'm not saying there aren't. What I'm saying is she doesn't feel like she's having to compete. So you haven't activated her competitive instinct. And in the early stages of a relationship, that is important. And I know that sounds terrible. I know that sounds like it hits the ear wrong in 2025. But the fact of the matter is I'm going to repeat it. Women don't want men that women don't want.
Okay, Max, here's something else you need to consider. She may be talking about these other guys to see how emotional you are, if she can move you off your square, to see if you're going to exhibit a level of emotional intelligence or if you're going to get all in your feelings. So
yeah,
it could be bait. Now, she says she called every other woman who I'm friends with a ratchet.
Well, sure, because remember, she doesn't want she not only wants to be the best. That's just it. She wants to be the best, but she wants to make sure that she is using that particular. Let me back up. I'm thinking faster than I can talk. What she is saying is she is wanting you to know that she is the best that you can get, and that is just kind of the way. And I think this is why a lot of girls don't like to be friends with other girls, to be honest with you, because this is kind of that thing. It would be the same as you telling a girl that you're interested in it. Oh, that guy's a loser. Date me instead. Now, doesn't that sound kind of like people would consider that a beta and insecure thing to say because now you're hating on some other dude, right? Now, girls move differently when it comes to that. They don't view it that way when they see other women do it. They see you do it, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, no,
So you're saying, Johnny, I just want to get this straight from my own. You're saying women can't dirty Mac the way that guys do?
I'm not saying they can't.
Shade on another guy.
No, I'm not saying that at all. As a matter of fact, I'm saying it's more widely accepted when they do.
Got it. All right. You got any other questions, Max? You could call in. We got a call-in number. Dude. I'd be more happy to get that posted. Johnny, you want to get back to our question?
Yeah, we're going to get back to Gunner here. And Max, guys, please weigh in on Gunner's situation too, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
but he says anyway.
Jumped in the comments and gave us your opinions on it.
Yeah, I love that, man. So anyway, I completely ignored her. I could tell she was looking at me a lot. She even tried to walk over. I walked away from her, but I'm going to say it. I don't care. He says I felt like a complete asshole because she was walking out of the bar with some guy, and as I was walking past, I ignored her. But you know how you do that intentional shoulder smash into somebody when you just don't like them. He does that to this guy. He says, I don't really know why I don't really know why I did it. Hold on. It gets kind of worse. I don't really know why I did it, but now I feel like I've been such an immature man-child. Not to mention giving her another reason to think I'm a prat. For those of you who don't know, in the UK, a prat is another word for idiot, or something similar. I don't want her anymore, so why do I feel angry and jealous over a woman that I know better than to reconcile with? Well, here's the thing. We were just talking about that competitive instinct. You don't want her. You just want her to see that you are better than what she replaced you with. That's the biggest thing. Bill, I mean, here's the thing. This guy got aggressive with a dude that probably doesn't even know he exists. For having the nerve to walk past the girl or walk out with a girl that he didn't know used to date the guy that just inexplicably smashed him in the shoulder. He won't even find out the most basic details until after that's happened, and probably stand there going, "What the hell?"
So what he did, Johnny, is he got emotional.
Yep.
He got in his feelings. He let the situation get the better of him. Instead of just keeping his eyes forward and minding his own business and conducting himself like a man, he let someone, a circumstance, a situation move him off his square. And I got to tell you, nephew, as men, we got to do better than that. You can't let somebody bait you into a situation. And look, you're in the UK, but let me tell you what happens here in the US. That dude that you shoulder checked, or the dude that you get in a fist fight with and get the better of, he'll get a blicky out and he'll come back and light the place up. And that's look, nephews, these women out here are not worth that. Not putting your life in danger over.
Especially one that's made it clear she doesn't want to be with you anyway.
Exactly. I was just getting to that point, Johnny. Especially one who doesn't value you enough to want your time.
Yeah, and the thing of it is rather than look externally as to why that upset you, the thing of it is that I don't even think she actually set him up to see that. I don't even know that he doesn't mention, because I feel like if he felt she did that on purpose, he would have mentioned that. But here's the thing. No, you just happened to see them out at a place that you just happened to be. So it wasn't even like she brought him there to flaunt him in front of you. You just happened to be there. It wasn't even. So here's the thing that you got to understand. We talk about overly emotional response here. And usually we're saying, dude, don't cry in front of her in these situations. Don't do this. Don't pour your soul out to her. Are you crazy? Don't put all 52 cards on the table on date number 2. But here's the thing. Contrary to popular belief, rage, anger, aggression, those are not, when you bring them to the surface like that, those are masculine feelings, but those are not masculine expressions. Because when you express that, that means you brought that out of you. You lost your self-control. You had no self-discipline there. And so what you did was you actually made it clear that you were incapable of managing your own emotions, and thus you lacked self-control in your actions. Luckily, this just wound up with a couple of people with maybe a slightly sore shoulder. But dude, if you don't check this, it might end up with the inside of a jail cell. I hear it takes a lot less to get arrested over there than it does here. So, I mean, the thing is that, these are not, apparently over there, if you say something out of rage, you can go to jail, but I'm not sure how that works. But the thing of it is that you cannot let these things control you. The most important part of self-mastery is being able to gather in your emotions and being able to gather in your desire and your impulse to express them and let them come to the surface when the outcome logically, and come on, man, you got to think logically, can't possibly be positive.
All right, nephew, you need to learn how to transmute those feelings into a positive energy that is better going to serve you. Because you could have took that anger and aggression and got some extra reps in at the gym. You could have did 15 more minutes of cardio, running it 7-8 miles. There's other things you could have done. What you didn't do was exhibit emotional intelligence. So you're really going to have to work on that going forward, because nothing that woman does should affect you in any way. In fact, it should be blessings on your journey. Now, if she did you dirty, you can ignore her. You don't have to pay any attention to her at all. I like to use the example of, when Thanos had the glove and he snapped like half of people out of existence. That's what I do to women who aren't on my program anymore, nephew. I snap I can't even remember their name. So that would be my recommendation to you, is exhibit emotional intelligence moving forward. If she did you dirty, snap her out of existence and forget that she even exists. And if you are ever put in direct communication with her, it should just be blessings on your journey and leave. You don't have to explain yourself to anybody.
Now, the good news is as long as you're being honest with your uncles, because that's the only way we can help you. The good news is you're not you're not doing this because you miss her. You're not doing this because you're trying to get her back. You're not feeling this way because of that. No, what you are feeling is straight up, you have kind of this excessive alpha syndrome. You want this new guy to be inferior to you, and you wanted her to see you smash him with the shoulder. Come on, man. And the thing of it is that while you and he know what that means, even if he was scared shitless of you, even though you and he know what that means, she doesn't get that. All she sees is you being a dick. And that's just it. I mean, the thing of it is that you and really, again, what it boils down to is you simply lost control of management of your emotions. I'm not saying it's wrong to feel those emotions, so please understand. Let yourself feel those emotions, but for the love of God, especially not in the moment, let those emotions get out there. That means you're not a guy. That means you're not a man. That means you're a kid. That means you're that kid that didn't get the toy bought for him. Or worse yet, got the toy, but then have to share it with somebody else because let's face it, you had your turn with her. Grow up, move on. And when you do, remember that moving on means going forward productively and managing your emotions, managing your expressions, rather, managing yourself, and managing, hopefully, your success. You're going to have to keep listening to us, man. That's just a given.
Well, you have to manage and mitigate your own emotions first. Man. And I can understand it being at a pub, that might be difficult, especially once you start drinking a little. Our inhibitions tend to loosen once we drink some alcohol. So you just got to tighten up all over. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So I'm sure you're lacking in discipline in other aspects of your life as well. We would be more than happy to help you with that. So if you want to get with Johnny, if you want to get with me, we would be, we could talk some more about that privately, sir. But it's happened to the best of us. We've all lost our cool at times. What is important is how you conduct yourself going forward. So blessings on your journey, and you shouldn't feel any type of way about her, who she's with, what they're doing. In fact, you should want the best for her because her time with you made her the woman she is today. So
yeah, and I mean, the thing of it is, this girl cheated on you. She was dishonest about it. You got upset about it, and instead of breaking up with her, you dwelt on it. And she ended up breaking up with you because she cheated on you, and you couldn't deal with it. So beyond that, now you've seen that she's moved on. So here's the thing. Clearly, you are taking a minimum of 1 L on this one. Dude, you know how many L's I've got? You know how many L's Uncle Bill here's got? Take the stupid L. But here, from now on, you have a flawless, undefeated record. Even if you can't say that you've never taken an L in your life, and I don't know how smart you'd be if you hadn't, you can say, I'm unbeaten in this long, since this day, since this time.
Johnny,
it's okay.
Here's how I like to say, I win, learn, or draw. So it's never a loss for me. It's always a lesson. It's something I'm learning from.
That's still an L.
Okay.
I'll take it. All right. Yeah, man. But good luck to you, Gunner, man. We'll follow up with you in a little bit. But if you have any follow-up questions for us, let us know, man.
Really, I want to see you do better. In fact, I want to know why there wasn't like a woman or two with you on your arm when this whole situation happened. So, or why weren't you going to that pub to meet a woman or two? And I don't know. We can talk about that later, Gunner.
Definitely. I mean, those are the details that we can do in our follow-up emails. But hey, man, thanks for writing in. And again, tell your friends over there across the pond, man. I know you're probably not awake when we're on the air here, but I know we're on the next day. So I'm glad to see that you're watching us. I'm glad to see you're learning from us, and I hope to see you in future episodes. And I want to report. I want a positive report of your progress. All right, let's go. All right, so chat, guys, leave a comment, give us a like. Remember, Johnny Dumbbell, William the Conqueror here on YouTube. We're on Instagram. I am now on TikTok. For the love of God. And so.
Hey, and you know what?
I remember when
let everybody know we don't do enough for TikTok. I post the shorts to them, but Johnny and I are going to bring our Bumble show to TikTok. We may add a third show a week, or we may cut the Bumble show on YouTube, Facebook a little bit short, and then go live on TikTok right after that. But him and I have to talk about that still. But we are bringing our Bumble dating show to TikTok. So shout out to Johnny Dumbbell for making it TikTok and helping reach more of these young men.
You kids in your social media. See, I remember when social media was Yahoo and AOL Messenger. You're either Team Yahoo or Team AIM. All right, so
well, you know what I've noticed, Johnny? Okay, the people that we help, their age group is based on the social media app that they use. So you'll see a lot of guys 40 and up. They're on Facebook. Those are the guys on Facebook right now, you know, talking to us in the dating groups and the stuff like that. And Instagram, that's for like 30 to 40s. I don't even know what you call them. Are those the millennials?
Yeah, I'd say that's about right.
Okay. And then TikTok, 20 to 30s, man. They're all over TikTok, man. These 25-year-olds, TikTok, everything. So I'm glad you got yourself on there. I can't wait for us to bring Bumble to it moving forward.
Now, some of you guys on TikTok are going to get your butts hurt because I'm about to try to stop you from doing some of the dumb shit I did at your age. So you're going to trust me. If I'm impassioned about it, believe me, there's a reason. So we got question 2. This one's from Austin. Austin says, what did I expect? Oh, this is going to be good. He says, I have no excuse. I've seen all of your live streams. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you, first of all.
Shout out to Austin, bro.
Not Texas, though. That's a terrible place. Anyway, it says, both of you make perfect sense with your advice, and I knew trying to be friends wouldn't work. I knew that talking to her after she broke up with me wouldn't work. And even so, I let myself get comfortable. She broke up with me a month ago, but we had a difficult time moving on from each other. We kept texting each other and calling each other on the phone every night, like we used to when we were together. We both wanted to be with each other, but I made many mistakes in the beginning, and this time became too much. And she felt like she couldn't do it anymore. Why do they never tell us what mistakes they made? Actually, I know the answer to that, but anyhow. But we were like best friends, and we didn't want to stop talking. I asked her if we could start over sometime in the future, and she said that she would want to, but she's not sure she could ever get over this. She just doesn't know. Bill, we're going to have to yell at this kid. She made it clear that she was sure about her decision. She was resolute, but it was always in the back of my head that maybe I could change her mind if I could just get her alone and talk to her for long enough. I'm just going to let that pass. I knew it wasn't healthy, and I knew it wouldn't work because situations like this never end well. And both Uncle Bill and Uncle Johnny have told us this many, many times. He calls you William, but I say Bill. She finally told me we need to stop talking for good this time. She wants to talk a week later to check in and then see from there. The old don't call us, we'll call you exit strategy. Okay, classic.
Bless that bitch.
He says, I think I will be ending things completely. You mean you'll finally accept that she ended things completely? Cool. So if I keep talking to her, I'm going to keep thinking I can get her back. But I miss her. I just want to keep talking to her. I don't know what to do. Can you guys give me some advice on either how to get her back or how to move on as painlessly as possible? I know you'll give me great advice either way, so thank you in advance.
You gotta be kidding me.
Austin, I think your boots stopped working, your truck broke down, and you don't love yourself. Man.
Okay.
So,
look, no, you want to tell him? You want me to tell him? I'll tell him. I'll give him that tough love.
Listen, the thing of it is, Austin, you have not just become her ex. You have become her ex/best friend. And not only have you become her ex/best friend, she's really just telling you the best part. And the friend thing is kind of being used loosely. See, the whole check-in a week, one of two things is going to happen. She's actually going to talk to you in a week just so she can kind of keep that hold on you because, hey, if what she's doing now, she can't move on. If what she's doing now, moving on, doesn't work out for her, she can fall back on you. Or she is completely done with you. That week's going to come and go, and you will hear crickets. And that's the thing that's kind of one of two ways it's going to go. But here's the thing. At this point, I would have told you to walk away. Thank God I don't have that button. I would have told you to walk away and preserve your dignity, but you didn't do that yet. I would have told you to cut her off, go no contact, move on, working on yourself, but you didn't do that yet. No. Now you're going to follow up with her. Well, as of you writing this next week, which I would imagine just in a couple of days. So you are going to go ahead and follow up with her in a couple of days. Now you've already taken this farther than you need to go. I'm not going to tell you if you really want to go ahead and play kick the can where you get to be the can. I would say go ahead and show up and show up for her for this whatever follow-up's supposed to happen a week later. Go ahead and do that. And you can either let us know when she dropped you right away by not contacting you, or you can give us a call or a message or whatever in another 3 months after she strung you along and dragged you through the dirt again. Now, in this case, I would even just text her. I would say to her, look, and believe me, this is an accurate statement. Based on the way things have been going with us, obviously, we have had our last hurrah already, or whatever it is, however you want to say it. We have already kind of had our best of times, and they're behind us. Blessings on your journey. Good luck to you. And listen, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take some time for yourself. I want you to focus on whatever it is that makes you happy and keeps you going, even if it's just focusing on your work. That's how most of us start, but don't make it just that. I want you to go home from work and do something that makes you happy. I want you to focus on you. A couple weeks ago, I talked about grilling outside with real charcoal. Now, that might not be your bag, and that's great. But I mean, find something, if you don't already know, that you love and something that you can cultivate. And more importantly, something that can make you better than you were yesterday. The thing of it is the harder you work on you, the harder they're going to chase you when you're not even in the running, or at least not in your mind. And by they, I mean the other girls, because this one's cooked.
Damn, you don't have to be so fucking toxic, all right? Just
I
shut the
do.
fuck
I do. Bringing you what? Hey
No,
guys,
nephew,
I'm
Bunny's
just
not
bringing
wrong,
you a
but-
lot of what they would call toxic masculinity,
Okay.
but that's what we do.
No. First of all, no, I'll tell you guys right now, there is no such thing as toxic masculinity. You heard it here. There is only a toxic lack of masculinity. So let's get that straight before we move on.
Yeah, we
Second of all-
can't call fake alphas toxic masculinity because it's not real masculinity, and thus can't be the toxic brand thereof.
So, nephew, I got some questions for you, some follow-up questions. Do you want to smash her one more time? Okay, because you got a meet schedule with you. Now, here's the thing. Johnny's right. I'm telling you, you need to cut her loose and never speak to her again. But
Yeah, it sounds to me that hooking up with her is what got him hooked in the first place, and that's the only thing I'm concerned here.
okay. So look, she's checking in with you. There's a pull. She's trying to pull you back in. So if you want the game on how to, I got you, nephew. I'll run you down exactly what to do. I'll put you in the best position to do that if that's what you want. However,
We'll show you how to make your bow chicken to make her say wow.
absolutely. I'll tell you what messages to send so you're clear, concise, and direct, and how to plan it and exactly how to set yourself up for success the whole night. However, you're going to fall back into a pattern that is just going to lead down a path that you don't want to go on down. Now, you're asking us how to get her back or how to move forward without pain. And I have some real bad news for you. Neither one of those are the path that you are about to walk. You're not going to get her back. And I can just tell from how you're writing in this message, it's not going to be easy for you. You're going to have some heartbreak ahead of you. But nephew, that's the good news. Because that heartbreak can be such a great motivator for you. It can forge you into a man you never thought you'd be. Now, you have to develop standards and principles. And this thing that Johnny and I talk about every single time we go live, it's called self-respect. But once you get you some self-respect, nephew, your whole world will change. And you are not even going to be worried about that woman. That's the thing. Because when you really start to learn game, when you really start to learn yourself, those women that you could have had, you can get better bitches. And why would you want
Yep.
somebody that's like a 5 or a 6 when you go get you some game and now you can start pulling 9s and 10s? And they're doing the things that you want them to do because now you know how to require things from women. You probably never did that. You were probably going along with their program the whole time. It was her that set up this meet that you're going on. I'm just willing to give you a little bit of game to smash her one more time, but you got to understand if I do that and you get to the finish line, you need to stand up, put your clothes on, and leave and tell her it's over after that happens. Don't try to solve this and fix this because you got to understand something, nephew. Somebody's probably smashing that woman that you don't know about. What's that, Johnny?
Yeah, I mean,
all right, now I got it for a second. Go ahead, dog.
I really no, it's cool. I got it. No, I mean the biggest thing too is I wouldn't even allow myself to be in the same room alone with this girl, and I'll tell you why. You're talking about she cheated on you, somehow made it seem like it was your fault. And when you were unable to get past this very real betrayal that she imposed upon you, somehow not only made it seem like your fault, but made it the reason she had to break up with you. So in essence, she broke up with you because of you being upset about her for her actions and her poor behavior. This is what you got for rewarding her bad behavior and giving and believing in second chances, especially at least in this particular category. Now, in this particular situation, somebody who would do something dishonest, cover it up with that dishonesty, and then decide that she wants to be in the same room with you, alone, naked, whatever it happens to be. No, I wouldn't even. I wouldn't share. I wouldn't even. I wouldn't buy her a soda. I wouldn't.
Well said. Well, here's my thing.
I mean,
look, if she got mad at you for being upset that she cheated on you, then she was really trying to avoid accountability on the whole thing. You probably forgave her. You probably said, "Oh, baby, it's okay. I forgive you." But you didn't actually forgive her. You didn't forgive yourself. You couldn't let it go. And because you kept dwelling on it, you started sending mixed signals to this woman because you said it was okay. You said you wanted to build with her, but you're still upset about it. So now you're not exhibiting emotional intelligence. Now you're kind of acting feminine.
I got to tell you, no matter how he handled it, though, the minute you accept somebody back after they cheated on you, you have basically told them that the worst behavior they've ever exhibited to you is forgivable.
Absolutely.
Now that doesn't mean that, and that doesn't mean that you're telling him, "Hey, go ahead and do it again." Especially not. I know you're not telling her to go ahead and do it again, and even she's not hearing that as, "Hey, go ahead and do that again." But I promise you, the next time she is being tempted with doing the wrong thing or making the wrong choice, whether it involves cheating or not, she is going to remember that you forgave the most unforgivable. And she won't be quite as worried to do something deceptive the next time.
Oh, no, she'll cheat on you again. She probably already is right now. You just don't know about it.
But what you're asking us is, how do you move forward painlessly? Well, you don't move forward painlessly.
No.
As a matter of fact, it's important. It's important that you remember this pain and that you come to understand this pain and where it really comes from. Because it doesn't really come from you missing her. It doesn't really come from the loss of a relationship that, frankly, you should be happy you lost. I don't know what this girl weighs, but I'll bet you lost at least I'll bet you at least lost 125 pounds in however long it took her to break up with you. Fantastic. But here's the thing. Moving forward painlessly is not going to happen, nor should it. If you move forward painlessly, you're either going to be overly emotional in everything you do, or you're going to be completely numb. And I don't think you want to get to that point. Believe it or not, that's even worse. The thing that you need to do is you need to remember, like Bill said, you've got to develop a program. You've got to develop your own set of standards and boundaries. And until you've done that, I wouldn't even bother dating. I would say get up every morning and make your bed and do the Johnny Dumbbell Challenge 3 times a week, 3 times a week for 4 weeks. And after that, I want you to go 4 times a week for 4 more weeks. And tell me you don't feel 200% better when you've gotten to that point. Because I'm not going to say when it's over. It's never going to be over. I tell my clients all the time, I would like to see it before and current, because there is no after.
Okay, like I was saying, nephew, you got to feel it to heal it. You're going to have to admit that you fell short as a man, and you're going to have to work on yourself. And that's really rough. And I've been there. I've had my heart broken, nephew. That's how I can sit here and tell you this. There were many times in my life where I gave many different women a kind of love that I never got back from them. They never showed me the same kind of love that I showed them. They took advantage of it. They used that against me. So I can sit here and tell you that you are better off moving on than trying to spin the block again with a woman who cheated on you. Because the next time she's sexually attracted to someone else, there's something in her brain that's going to say, well, he forgave me last time. This sucker will do it again. And she's going to do whatever she wants.
And
So
if that's too
no fixing your situation, you have to move forward, and you're going to have to fix some things about you to make sure it doesn't happen again, nephew.
Yeah, I mean, if that's yeah. And if that's as difficult for you to understand at whatever age you are, because it doesn't say, but if that's too difficult for you to understand there, I would say the best way to do it then is to make a simple formula. Whenever she said or did something, or anybody, not just her, because you're done with her. All right. Trust me, you're done with her. But whenever anybody else in your life says or does something, you need to ask yourself, does somebody do this because they respect me? Or does somebody do this because they don't respect me? Does somebody do this because she loves me, or because she is trying to get away from me, because she's doing this or that? Never mind that. The only question you need to ask is, does the person who loves and or respects me do what this person just did? If the answer is no, then I would say at least distance yourself, if not cut them out completely if you're able to. But only then will you realize that, number one, that you have standards. Number two, what those standards are. And most importantly, number three, how glad you are that you never lived another day in your life on anybody's terms other than your own. That's what you need to do to move on with as little pain as possible, not painless.
Max says the call-in's not working. I'll see if I can get it fixed for our next show.
Yeah.
I don't want to take the time and energy away from this show to try to fix that. We'll have you do a test call before the next show, Johnny.
Yeah, sorry about that, Max. We normally do that, but we didn't get that done tonight. All right, so we've got, this one is from another William. he says, William, not the Conqueror. I like that. The subject line, this is a different one. Dead behind the eyes. You have my attention. I finally managed to go on a date with someone, and I thought it was going well. The conversation was flowing. We were laughing together, just like the previous messages and calls. So I thought I was brilliant. Anyway, we could skip to the end of the date. We had to leave together and go for a slow walk, as we had talked about previously. And however, and this is where it gets weird, she suddenly decides that she doesn't want to go for the walk and just wants to go home. So I say, okay, would you like a lift home? And her response was, no, I don't think I want to see you or speak to you again. I was a bit shocked by this and simply said, oh, have I done something to upset or offend you? Her response was she didn't want to date someone who was dead behind the eyes. I'll explain what that means here in just a second. He's asking, first of all, what does she actually mean by this? Well, in a way, she's kind of saying you're dumb. But he says, I know what dead behind the eyes mean. Do you? But how is this a reason? Chances are that this was a foodie call or this is her out, dude. That's what I'm thinking. But in case of any of you are wondering, it's a figurative phrase. It basically describes somebody who appears dull or, they lack feeling or inner life. Some people might call a narcissist dead behind the eyes. I think maybe what it is maybe he just didn't have enough inflection in his voice. It's hard to really say because we're telling it from his perspective and not hers. But what he's saying is that he appears dull, vacant. Maybe he's not all there. The lights are on. Nobody's home. Whatever it happens to be. But I guess what she's trying to tell him in a nutshell is that he did not provide stimulating conversation, and she's found a really snappy expression to use it. The fact of the matter is, you are asking us how this is the reason, and what the reason is, and why, and this and that, and that is. I'm not saying that it's not. It's not an illegitimate question, but in your case, it is irrelevant. The fact is, she said she didn't want to speak to you or see you again. I mean, listen, I understand that you want to analyze why a certain thing happened, because logic tells us that if we learn why a certain thing happened, then moving forward, it might not happen again. And that works in objective situations, but not subjective situations like love, romance, and for the love of God, attraction on a first date. There's nothing, there are very few things in the world more subjective than that. So you can't apply rules to those kinds of things. It doesn't work that way. I wish it did. Actually, I don't. It'd be pretty boring. But that is exactly what's happening here. Don't worry about why. Don't worry about the reasoning behind it. If she was exhibiting a certain behavior over a period of days and then she did something or failed to do something, I can probably give you a roadmap of what she was thinking or why she was doing it or whatever reasons are. But again, at the end of the day, all that's going to do is serve to remind you to keep an eye on behaviors and body language. So definitely do that. But other than that, the actual articulated reason as to why, it's just simply not important. What's important is you move on. Remember that no means go, as in go on with your life. Bill?
No means go and find the one who will. So here's the thing, nephew. They're behind the eyes. Now, I can recognize this. Okay, Johnny does this with y'all too. You guys just don't realize he's doing this. Johnny is real polite and takes your feelings into consideration when he gives you these answers. And he doesn't want you to get upset. He doesn't want you to unsubscribe. He doesn't want you to take your ball and go home. So,
well, some of you I do, but not all of you.
Okay, but the point is the woman was trying to show you the same courtesy. She couldn't think of a better way to put it. She needed an out. Johnny was right on point about that. But something in your date let her know that whatever she was once sexually attracted to in you no longer was there. You just didn't have it, my guy. Because if you were really the guy, if you had some riz, if you had some game about you, she's not going to tell you you're dead behind the eyes. She's going to look at you and say, hey, let's get out of here.
Yeah, like I can't tell if you're watching live right now, but I can't tell if you're watching live right now, but if you are, I would love to know why we skipped from your description of her laughing at your jokes to let's go skip to the end of the date. Here's what happened. No, because I got to tell you, that whole skip 2 part, something in there either happened or what it sounds like to me didn't happen.
I'll tell you
number one, I'll bet you a buffalo nickel, Uncle Bill. I'll bet you a buffalo nickel he sat across the table from her. I'll bet you anyway. I'll bet
Johnny,
you, man.
it's like you just
that's
read
number one.
mind
Number one,
sometimes.
he did not promote. Yeah.
He didn't listen to us.
I do all the time, man.
That's the first thing he didn't do. He did not listen to us, or the date would have been the walk.
Yep.
So I don't know what he did. I don't know where he took her. Does it say specifically? Because I don't think it was for a drink. I don't think it was for coffee. Don't think it was to feed the ducks.
No.
Don't think he took her for an ice cream cone.
And I have to assume that you must have taken her to dinner. You must have taken her to something that, that's just it. I mean, I would really love to know what you guys did, what the activity was, because, yeah, I mean, game over, dude.
He had a wonderful time at dinner, sir. But she's not going to go for a walk with you because you gave her some weird, creepy vibes and turned her off, and she couldn't wait to get out of that situation. Oh, Johnny, come on. Dead behind the eyes?
Or now listen, if that was just an out for her, we might have to face the fact that our friend might have been a foodie call. He might have been a foodie call. Now, we don't know what they did on the date, but, that's what it really, I mean, if she is not being genuine, now she is being genuine, yes. I think that there was something that he failed to do right or something he might have done wrong. But the fact of the matter is, if that's not the case, if he didn't self-sabotage, which let's face it, we're young men, we do that. But if he didn't, then yeah. I mean, this could very easily have been a foodie call, dinner check got paid, and she decided that was the end of the night for her. Well, with you. Maybe take the doggy bag home that's an advanced class. But the fact of the matter is, this sounds to me like it's one of those two things. And I think that either way, it's more important for you to know what to do and how to do it, and less about why something that's already in the past happened.
That is a great answer, Johnny. Now, once you get a little bit of game to you, the why won't matter. why she did this, why she doesn't want to do that. None of that matters. The only thing that does matter is if she's down to do the thing that you want to do. You should be the one planning the date. You should be the one gauging her interest level in you to decide if you even want a second date with her. So there's things that you need to do, like, hey, be at this place at this time. And if she's late, look, I don't even really wait for him. I had a date last week. I waited about 15 minutes and then I left. Like, all right, we were supposed to be there at 7, and I get a text at like 6:55. Hey, I'm running a few minutes late, but I'll be there in like 5 to 8 minutes. So I waited, and then like 7:15 rolled around, 7:17, man, I left. And I got in a car and I went to some other little place I liked that wasn't too far from there. And she had called and, hey, I can't find you. Where you at? And I'm like, hey, I left. I'm sorry. So I will not be having another date with her. She was not happy that I left, but I respect myself and my time so much that I wasn't going to offer another date with her anyway. Blessings on your journey.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's Bill respecting his own time, because clearly this girl wasn't going to respect his for him. It's not even hers to respect; it's his to respect. If somebody has that same respect for that same concept, fantastic. That gets a foot in the door.
Okay,
but I'll give her this. I'll give her this though. At least she was straightforward with you. She only food called you once maximum. So for that, I tip my BCA recovery drink and raise a toast. Oh, and to you for writing in, but mostly for her for only wasting your time once.
Well, Johnny, I had a great time at that other bar. I met another woman and had a great evening.
Nice.
But yeah, I know. My point is that she might not have respected my time or the situation, but my actions and how I conducted myself as a man taught her respect. So the next one of y'all that she goes out with, when she's on time for you, y'all could thank me for it.
Hey, we're not sure.
You're welcome. I made you bitch a better bitch.
We're not just good at giving advice, guys. We're good for setting precedents. All right. So, yeah, but thanks for writing in, man. And like I say, like everybody else, we'll follow up with you. I definitely think that, you're on the right track as far as, moving on and understanding when when is when. I get asking why, but again, that's irrelevant. It's what and how, man, from here on out.
All right, Max says, I told the same woman mentioned above last Sunday that if she cannot respect my time, that I do not wish to speak with her anymore. She fired back with a wave of excuses and texts. I never replied. Good for you, sir. Now, here's the thing. Now, I like what you said, Max, but I would have taken the option away from her, because what you're saying to her is that she cannot respect your time, that you do not wish to speak with her anymore. I'd like to see you move a little bit past that to where you've already decided in your head that the woman is not respecting your time, and you've already gotten rid of her, and you don't give her a choice in it. Your standards are the choice. Your principles are the choice. Her behaviors are already the choice, sir. So sometimes you just got to stand on business, Max. I appreciate you for doing that.
In fact, in the future, what I would do is I wouldn't even bother sending her the text. The thing of it is that we tell you all the time that no response is a response. When she doesn't respond to you, well, guess what? She understands that about you too. No response is a response. And if she doesn't know why, then I have a hard time believing she would be respectful of anybody's time, let alone, yours or mine or whoever else she meets next. So, I would say if she doesn't respect your time, you don't have to respect her closure.
Well, that's what we say. The why doesn't matter. We don't really need closure. You guys that seek closure or need to clear the air with a woman, you're kind of being weird and emotional. As men, we don't need closure. So the why doesn't matter.
Yeah, remember, that's not rage, but it does show anger. And remember, it's okay to feel anger. It's not okay to outwardly.
I want to give Max a little bit of game here. We appreciate the comments. We appreciate the engagement, the involvement.
Oh, yeah.
Max, you do any online dating? Because if you need some help with an online dating profile, you should come back for our Thursday night show.
Oh, dude, yeah.
It's all Bumble. We break down Bumble dating profiles and teach you guys what you should be looking for, what you should avoid, the things you should require from women, the dates that you should offer, how to go from match to date. We don't talk about that too often, but there have been some instances where I have matched with somebody on the show, and I'll even show you how to initiate the contact. So
That's right. Yeah, we show you
do
the
more
techniques
online
and
dating, Max, and we would love to help you set up a profile for you to be one of our success stories.
yeah, the Thursday show is a really good time. You really ought to tune in, and yeah, it's a good way to. Not only are we going to be giving you guys a little bit of game, but we're also going to help Bill find his next ex-girlfriend. So, you know.
Hey, I got about 6 of them waiting for that title already right now, Johnny.
Bruh.
All right, he says, I typically don't date online. I'm looking to get on to the next woman. Okay, Max,
Hey,
what's
if you're
your
able to
approach?
do it in person, I love that. I love that for you, man.
Absolutely.
I'm
What's
all
your
about
approach?
I'm all about breaking the ice in person. I love that.
Tell me what you say when you meet a woman. Because I got to tell you, Max, that should never change. It shouldn't be situational. It shouldn't go on how the woman looks. How you present yourself as a man should never change. So you're going to present yourself the same way to every woman you ever meet. Your approach is not going to change. So what I like to do is when I approach them, I introduce myself. I do what my parents taught me to do, Max. How are you doing today? My name is William. And let me tell you, that goes a long way because I have taken a step that most men don't. A lot of guys will look at these beautiful women and not know what to say, or they won't know what to say next. They won't know what to do. I have it all down pat. I've done this several times. I've rehearsed this countless times. So I'm introducing myself. How you doing today? My name's William. I let him know why I came up to him. Hey, you caught my eye. You got my attention. I just wanted to know if you had anybody in your life that would have a problem if I wanted to give you my phone number. And you got to understand, most women, their entire life, guys have been asking them for their number. So when you're offering your number to a woman, you're starting to break her algorithm in the way that she deals with men. Because when you start talking to her, she's thinking, she already knows, well, she thinks that you're going to ask for her number. So she's thinking in her head, if she likes you, okay, this guy's about to ask me for my number. That's why he engaged me in conversation. So you flip the script and you just say, hey, you got anybody in your life? I just want to know if you have anybody in your life that have a problem if I gave you my number. And I can't even tell you the amount of women that whip out their phone and hand it to me. Hand me the phone. I don't even have an iPhone. I could work one of them like you wouldn't believe, Max, because I've had so many women hand me their iPhone. I know how to put William in there, whip my number, save it, hand it back to him.
That and all the hours we got stuck troubleshooting at that call center.
So that's my approach. Now, Max, here's the thing. Here's what no one's going to tell you. You need to get shot down constantly. You should be getting shot down every day. Max, getting shot down every day is a good thing because that means that you are approaching women every day. So another thing, Max, I don't like to do is you don't have to go a certain specific place to meet women. Like, hey, where are all the bitches at? No. Open your door, sir, and go out the door. I love to meet women at the organic food section of a grocery store. That's a good one for me.
Yeah.
There are 2 places you need to stay away from women at. Now, let me tell you this. The gym, you don't approach women at the gym. They're there to work out. They don't want to be
Trust
hit
me,
on.
best case scenario, you'll end up a meme. Best case scenario.
And women who are at their job, if she is working at her place of employment, she is being paid to be polite and respectful to you. So you cannot gauge her level of interest in her or in you. So when you ask the waitress, the hostess for their phone number, bro, that's like real creepy energy. So don't ever do that. But if they're not at work, if they're not at the gym, you should let them know who you are, that they caught your attention, and why you came up to them. You just want to know if they got anybody in their life that would have a problem if you gave her your number. And most women don't. If they are, they're seeing somebody, it's like a situationship that doesn't appreciate them. It just some loser they used to deal with, they're smashing him on the side. They can't wait to meet a real man. So when you conduct yourself like a man, especially during that approach, and you set that first impression, you'll have an easier time communicating with. They'll reach out right away. All right, Max, look, hey, I appreciate the comments, Max. I'm going to give you a little bit more game. Okay, let's say you approach a woman in person and you ask her, hey, you got anybody in your life to have a problem if I gave you my number? And she says, no, I don't, Max. And you give her the number. And she starts texting you, and she's like, hey, that's me. Here's what you need to do. You have to say, hold on a second. It might be this blonde with a fat. I like blondes with fat asses, Max. So I'm usually talking and approaching the blondes with fat asses. So I'll tell her, hold on, I got this blonde with a fat ass texting me. And then I'll get my phone out and I'll respond to her with an audio message. Hey, I'm going to have to get back to you in a minute. I got this blonde with a fat ass standing right in front of me that I need to talk to. Okay, so the whole approach becomes really playful, and she just cannot wait to see me later. This has worked for me 3 different times this summer, where the woman that I approached reached out immediately, and I immediately started with the game. And just, so that's my advice to you. Once you
and here's the thing, that's who he is. So she's turned off by it. She's not his type.
Yeah, not my type. Is she not trying to be playful? I'm not trying to waste my time with her. My time is very valuable, very important. I have so much of it that I have to manage that I only give these women a certain amount of it, really. All right. Max, you got any other questions? Because I'll go all night on how to approach these women, how to pull these women, how to look. You have to be impressive. You should never be trying to impress anyone. Anytime you're trying to impress someone, you're essentially trying to get them to believe a narrative that might not necessarily be true. However, through your actions, through your standards, through your program, you're going to be impressive to these women. That's just natural. So if you got any other questions, Max, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Johnny and I will be wrapping this up soon. We usually only go for a little over an hour on Monday. We do have a show on Thursdays that's for online dating, because we want you young men to be successful at that too. I'm tired of hearing that women only go after the top 10% of men. I got to tell you, nephews, that's because there's only about 10% of us that put the time, effort, and energy into ourselves to make ourselves interesting. Most of you are sending women text messages like WYD and just the lamest. I understand why these women don't write you back. I'll tell you. If you really want to learn how to spark an interest in their messages with them, the first thing you need to do is stop DMing them first. Now, you can DM these women, but you should not be initiating this content. How you should do that is breadcrumb them through comments, but we'll get into that on another episode.
Yeah, and by the way, I see you're going to I see you're going to a matchmaking event next week. I don't know what those are even like anymore. I remember what they were like in the early 2000s, but I don't think I've been to anything even similar to that since. So I would really love to see a follow-up, or, if you could join us next Monday, tell us how that went, if you happen to have gone to that by then, because I'm intrigued. I've been told that men aren't going to those things in nearly the numbers they used to. And, the implication is that it does have to do a lot with the way that dating has changed over the last half a century. And let's face it, it has. But I would like to hear how it went. I'd like to hear, what it was like, and, a little bit of, what you experienced and how you felt about it.
Yeah. If we could get some feedback on your matchmaking event, that'd be great. Tell me where I can find one of those to go at, and I will get some meta glasses and go there, and I will show each and every one of you young men that see this how to get at these women the right way.
Absolutely.
Hey, Johnny, I'm about to give you some meta glasses. I'm telling you, the things that I can do with those. Man. We'll do an approach school.
We got one
boot camp.
We got one last nephew here, and this one's that'd be awesome. Drop it, give me 20. You know you don't do that. So we got one last question, and this is from Ricky. And Ricky is this is going to be fairly simple, straightforward, but I think it's important that we kind of get this out there because there are a lot of guys who feel this way, and this is a very small part, but still part of the reason why when a breakup needs to happen, guys aren't doing it like they should be. So Ricky says, I want to leave my girlfriend. I've been wanting to leave her for a while. I just don't know how to do it.
Shout out to you, Ricky.
He says, I don't like hurting people. And when I've tried to end it in the past, I don't like hurting people. When I've tried to end it in the past, I'm convinced to give it another shot. I feel like I'm trapped and I don't want to be an asshole because she's a good person, but she's just not for me. Any advice on how to handle it? So what it sounds like he's saying here is that she hasn't necessarily done anything wrong. He's just not feeling the relationship and wanting to move on. And so I think what the reason he feels badly about it is because it sounds like she didn't really do anything to deserve to get broken up with. But at the same time, he just doesn't seem to be interested anymore. And listen, man, as young as you are, he's 22. As young as you are, that's normal. You know, I mean, that's kind of one of those things where you've got to remember that, you know, in your young life, you have encountered already so many people. And believe me, by the time you're our age, you're going to encounter a ton more. And there are people who are meant to be in your life for the rest of it. And there are people who are not. And that's unfortunately the vast majority. Well, it might be a lucky thing because we can't keep track of that many people anyway. But the thing of it is that this girl is one of those people who not only isn't meant to be in your life forever, but is obviously not your future wife. Okay. And you've acknowledged that. So that's a good thing. You're not hanging on by a thread like some of these other guys begging for another chance to get emotionally beat up and hurt and dumped again. You're not doing that. You're saying, I'm seeing I don't want to drag this out. We got to cut this off before things get even worse. Yeah, that's the way we do it. I would say that the best way to do it is, since she hasn't done anything to screw things up, good news is you don't have to be a schmuck about it. The bad news is you're going to have to man up. You're going to have to give him the old Uncle Bill line or whatever works for you. But you're going to need to make sure that you say it with your chest and have some finality to it. Blessings on your journey. I really do wish you luck. You were great. Just not what I'm looking for. I understand. Blah, blah, blah. But the thing of it is that this is done. You know it's done. And honestly, at this point, she knows it's done.
Everybody wants to be a man until it's time to be one, Johnny. This is what we talk about all the time.
And this is what I'm talking about. This is sounding like he's still in high school, which I realize he's not that far past high school age. But, look, if you don't want to be viewed as the jerk by the rest of the class, then great. Go ahead and stay with this girl. Be miserable. Gain some resentment, which in your young life, you shouldn't even know how that feels yet. At least I hope not. And, drag it out for a couple more years. Make a 2-year relationship into a 5.5-year relationship like I did when I was your age. Go ahead, be stupid. Because the thing of it is when that relationship is done being dragged through the mud by that rope and that rope finally snaps, you'll think it's great that you're no longer being dragged, but now you're sinking. And now it's even worse. Now it could have just, you could have ended this on good terms, or you could have ended this on at least less bad terms. And the thing of it is that if you are going to go into it with fear, then when she starts to crying, when she starts the, when she starts to please give me another shot or do whatever, when she starts that stuff,
hyperventilating,
you're going to continue to cave, and you're going to continue to say this person needs me. Well, what do you need? I'll tell you what you need. You need happiness just like she does. And I got bad news for you, bud. Staying with her is not going to make you happy. And believe it or not, it's actually in reality not going to make her happy either. Because she's always going to sense you pulling away, because whether you realize it or not, you are. She's going to be trying to hold on to you tighter because, again, you're that pile of sand that she's clenching her fist around as you trickle between her fingers. But the thing of it is that if you don't get out of this now, it's going to be much more serious than that. It's going to be much more resentful than that. You're going to have two people who are good people who really can't stand the sight of each other, but can't stand to be apart. That is a mind fuck. It really is.
Nephew, I have had the worst breakups imaginable. Like if I sat here and talked about my breakups, it would just shock and awe. You all would be in horror. Now, I'm talking everything from women trying to cancel their subscriptions to breathing over me to
yeah.
Man. So
I've had a few of those.
Okay, look, here's the thing, nephew. This is a great opportunity for you because this is going to define your character for the next few years to come. You either get to be a man about this or you get to be a POS about this. The decisions that you make are up to you because if you can't tell that woman the truth, you're not a man. So you're no longer attracted to her. You don't want to pursue this. You're going to have to hurt her feelings. And we as men accept the fact that sometimes we will hurt a woman's feelings. You know, their feelings get hurt when I tell them no. You know how many times I have to tell a woman no per week? Like at least 5 or 6. No, we're not doing that. No, I'm not doing this. No, no, no. And every time, they get their feelings hurt. They get upset. I understand how they feel. Here's the thing. Sometimes their feelings change. Hey, that's the thing about feelings. They change. So,
easily. Especially at your age.
What I'm saying to you, though, is that you should move on because you're not locked in with her. So she deserves to be with somebody who will be locked in with her.
Yep.
So it's blessings on your journey. You should want the best for her.
Sure.
And if you don't want her, if you're not going to show her the level of consistency that she requires, it's best to just move and get out the way, nephew. So blessings on your journey. Best of luck in your endeavors. Hey, I'll write you a great job reference because, you went hard for this team over here.
Yep, definitely. And the thing is, like I say, now I'll give you this too, and this is really all I've got. But when you do this, you're probably going to see some tears. You're probably going to hear some crying. You're probably going to hear some begging. You might even experience some manipulation. That does happen in these situations, even if she is a good person. It's something that, maybe she even does subconsciously and just brings it outward. The point is that there are a lot of things that are going to be thrown at you during this conversation. But the thing of it is that if you are a man making a decision for the rest of your masculine life, or just the rest of your life in general, you are going to have to stand on business. You're going to have to pick that business up and carry that business with you. You're going to have to say it. And it sounds like, this, like I say, this is an amicable breakup. It sounds like you're going to need to be fair. You're going to need to be firm, and you're going to need to be resolute. You've already been so with us. So if you don't have any problems telling your uncles, you shouldn't have any problem telling somebody who, let's face it, in the long run is going to benefit by not dragging this out any longer than it needs to be. All right,
John, that's it for the night, huh?
Yeah,
Shout out
we had a good night, man. Well, and you know what? And huge. Yeah, huge shout out to our audience tonight, man. I love the engagement. It was really great to be able to talk with you guys and be able to, respond to your comments and things like that. Please tune in with us every Monday and Thursday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. We really have a great time doing this kind of stuff. We love interacting with you. And look, I got no problem interrupting Bumble profiles or letters from, our other fans to go ahead and answer a comment real quick. We always get back to what we were doing before because we stand on business and we take care of business. We can multitask. We're all right there. But thank you so much for you guys. Big shout out to you. It's really awesome that you hung in there with us, and we look forward to seeing you again next time.
Best way to contact us, Max, is we have all the links for everything in the bio. You could write Johnny on IG. You could write either of us on Facebook. You could write me on IG too. But IG, Facebook, TikTok, whatever you're on, you can send us messages. We got you, nephew.
Yes, sir.
All right, John, you got anything else for tonight?
Just this one advice for all you young men. As I always say, remember, if you drink, don't drive. And if you drive, don't park. Because accidents cause people. Good night.